Deuces, peace to each and every one of you guys in the boxing world. We will praise you, O Lord, with our whole heart. We will show forth all your marvelous word, and we will sing and rejoice in you. We'll sing praise to your name, O Most High. We will praise you. We will praise you every day, in every way. We will praise you. We will praise you. We will praise you every day, in every way. We will praise you. Grace and peace to you guys. Grace and peace be to all you guys. First of all, I just want to say to Beeb and Company Limited, I called you guys very. I just reflect on sometimes in my Christian walk, I call people names. Like I was calling them idiots. I was calling them a-holes. That's not cool, man. I'm just saying. So I just want to apologize for that in advance. But other than that, I want to talk to you guys about the kingdom of God a little bit, just a small segment. It's real simple. All of us are still existing and breathing, whether we are kingdom dwellers or not, for a reason. Everything in life is there for a reason. And sometimes we think that, the insignificant things we do don't matter. They do matter. Whether they be for good or for evil, they do matter. And you do matter, and your voice does matter. And so how you proceed and how you conduct yourself is going to bring forth a consequence to those actions, a ripple effect, shall we say, to other people. So I'm going to try and approach this a little bit differently, this boxing session here, because even when I went into the comment section, and I know Beeb and the other guy on his channel, they were sort of antagonizing people to sort of get a reaction from them, which was interesting, But anyways, I'm going to go into a different approach. All right, because he got the reaction out of me, and that's cool. But honestly, it ain't that deep, folks. It ain't that deep. So what I'm going to do is go into screen share here. I'm going to go into screen share for a minute. You guys feel free to comment in the chat section if you so wish. Go into screen share right here. And we're going to talk about some of the previous boxing matches that happened before, since this is entertainment we're talking about. And it's some, I did not really comment much about the previous fights that happened last weekend. I was busy dealing with my mom and the situation with my mom and family. The family situation has changed a bit, so I'm really grateful for that. But still, we have a long ways to go. So I get this little time to talk with you guys about this. So last weekend, there were a number of things that transversed. First of all, Martin Murray, he faced Hassan N'Dam. And Hassan N'Dam outboxed him. I had picked Hassan N'Dam to beat Martin Murray. I don't know if I said it in a video or a previous video that I deleted. I can't remember. But Hassan N'Dam beat Martin Murray. And then, surprise, surprise, Dillian Whyte knocked out Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora and Dillian Whyte, they were fighting a pretty good fight. And Dillian Whyte caught him with a left hook, I think it was. And Chisora was dipping down, and he dipped right into the left hook, didn't see it. And he actually got stopped with that left hook. I think it was in the 10th round, if I'm not mistaken. I can always check and see when he was stopped. When did he stop him? He stopped him, I think, in the 10th round. Hold on, let me log into this. All right. Let's log in here. Oh, he stopped him in the 11th round. Yeah, he stopped him in the 11th round. Chisora was doing pretty good, too. He was walking down Dillian Whyte and stuff like that. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Anyways, going back to here to talk about the previous fights. Yeah, Dillian Whyte stopped Derek Chisora. I thought it was interesting, should I say, to say the least. It was an interesting fight. And then we also had Jamal Charlo and Jamel Charlo. They fought. Uh, they also fought on the 22nd. And Jamel Charlo actually lost to Tony Harrison. Now, what I think about that fight? Well, first of all, I didn't watch the fight completely. I watched pieces of the fight, so I can't really tell you. Jamel Charlo seemed to be loading up a lot. It looked like Tony Harrison was kind of outboxing him. I could be wrong. So you guys, you give me your comments about what you thought. Some people were saying it was a robbery. Jamel Charlo was robbed of his victory. I can't really say. I thought Tony Harrison caught Jamel Charlo a couple times flush. So I can't really say. I had to actually go watch that fight. But I would like to hear your opinions on the Jamel Charlo versus Tommy Harrison fight. And then we also had the Jamal Charlo versus Korobov fight. And Jamal Charlo was, I believe, unable to stop Korobov. And people were saying that Korobov actually beat Jamal Charlo. Again, I didn't see the entire fight with Jamal Charlo versus Korobov. I was busy dealing with other things. So I can't really tell you what happened. I picked Jamal Charlo to win, and he won. Jamel Charlo I picked to win against Tony Harrison. I thought Jamel Charlo would stop him. I was wrong. So that was one of those picks that I was wrong about. I want to hear what you guys think about those fights as well. I know you guys may have discussed it in detail. Now, this weekend, we had Inu, not Iona Inu, but Takoma Inu. And he beat a guy called Tasana Salapat. But nobody cares about that fight, okay? Heki Buckler, man, he lost to Hiroto Kyoguchi. So Heki Buckler is like a minimum weight fighter, one of those little ones, and he lost to Hiroto Kyoguchi. Again, I like the small weight classes. Sometimes I pay attention to them. I haven't paid attention to them in a long time, but still, I just pay some attention to them. And so, I wanted to just talk about that fight a little bit. Again, I didn't see that fight. I didn't even see pieces of the fight. And then Donnie Nietes he's now become 4th division world champion at super flyweight. He beat Kazuto Ioka to win the WBO super flyweight title. So he's now 4th divisional world champion. Kudos to Donnie Nietes on that performance. And I watched pieces of that fight as well. I have not been able to watch any full fights so far. So I just wanted to go through all of those fights because I thought it was interesting. May I just say that for those guys, you guys who know about boxing and follow boxing and really just enjoy boxing in particular, you would find that some of these fights, well, it's almost coming to the end of the year. Actually, happy New Year's to some of you guys if I don't get to talk to you guys later. And happy Old Year's Day as well. Today is Old Year's Day. This is the last day of 2018. We're rolling over to a new milestone. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Again, I just wanted to affirm that, hey, we're making it to a new year. That's a great thing. Don't take it for granted. Don't take your life for granted. Yeah, we all have a purpose out here. So I just wanted to point out that stuff before I move on to what next I want to talk to you guys about, which is not going to be very long, which has to do with Mayweather versus Tenshin Nasukawa. So they had that 3-round exhibition match in which it ended within a round where Floyd pretty much dusted Tenshin Nasukawa, pretty much dusted him, okay? Now, some people are saying how this fight was fixed. And I was on Beeb's channel, and Beeb was saying, one of those guys was saying so. And his reasons for it was kind of silly, but he was talking about how Floyd was hitting hair follicles on Tenshin, and that stopped him, and therefore it was staged. For those of you who know what stage fights look like, I just don't buy that it was staged. I think a lot of people don't buy that it was staged. Why would you stage a fight when you have all the advantages? You got your own referee. You outweigh the opponent by 20 pounds. Dudes only fought flyweights. You've been fighting welterweights, and you're probably a super welterweight coming into this fight. Yeah, you got smaller gloves at that. You have smaller gloves, so it's more destruction. You're the boxer. The guy's never boxed a day in his life. He's a kickboxer, but he's not a boxer. Kickboxers don't punch as hard as boxers. Everybody knows that because boxers, what they do, they train to punch. They train to block punches. This is what they do. Uh, a kickboxer has a wider stance and all of that. The dude's been fighting at flyweight. He's never faced a bigger opponent. I mean, it's just like I mean, everything was stacked in Floyd's favor, and it's a 3-rounder. So to me, it wasn't surprising that once Floyd touched Tenshin would wobble because it's so much bigger than him. You're not used to taking punches, like boxing punches. You're used to training and all of that, but your body's not used to taking boxing punches. And it's a totally different thing talking about a boxer punching you versus someone who's in MMA and kickboxing. These guys, they can punch a little bit, but they don't have punch resistance like a boxer who's been doing it his whole life, okay? Knows how to place punches and stuff like that. And this was under boxing rules. So everything's stacked against Tenshin, who's saying he's going to knock out Floyd. He may look spectacular, kicking and punching and kneeing and all of that. That's against small guys, his size. And he's not going to get to kick and knee. He has to punch. And if you look at him, even when he was throwing his punches against Floyd, Floyd wasn't bothered by his punches, very much like he wasn't bothered by Conor McGregor's punches. So I think that my assessment on Beeb and anybody else who agrees with Beeb is I think you just don't understand boxing, or you're letting your judgment be clouded by your fandom. Because I know Beeb is a Sugar Ray Leonard fan, and it's really surprising to see a guy like that, praise Sugar Ray Leonard for one set of things. And yet when Floyd does the very same things against opposition and does it better, he's ready to castigate, criticize Floyd Mayweather. And I find the blind hate against Floyd Mayweather stupid at times. And I'm just saying, this is one of those cases where this is not a stage fight. He's supposed to dust this kid. Okay? It's supposed to happen. But you know what's funny? People praise guys like Joe Louis, who had exhibition matches, which almost became title fights, heavyweight championships against guys who did not, debutants who did not deserve to be in the ring with him. At least Tenshin is a glorified debutant. Okay, he's done great things in kickboxing. He's done a little something in MMA, and he tried to cross over into boxing and dominate, and that just wasn't going to happen against the best boxer in the world. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so that's what happens. Back in the day, this was common practice. Go look at a boxer named Joe Gans. Joe Gans would beat up guys that came practically off the street. Cab drivers would fight him, and he would dust them. He would knock them out. Why? They have no business dealing with a guy that's all he does all his life. If you're in a street fight, okay, and there's a guy coming at you, I don't care if he's a big 200-pound footballer coming at you, he doesn't know anything about boxing. You know boxing. You could actually knock that guy, the spark out, and you just go on YouTube and just check it out. Guys who know how to box can stop much bigger guys. Far less for a guy who knows how to box, who's fighting a guy who knows combat sports but does not know boxing like that. He would knock this kid out. He could have knocked Conor McGregor out in the first round, okay? Or in shorter set of rounds. He carried Conor McGregor. So if you're saying he's carrying Conor McGregor, who outweighs him by 15 pounds, Conor McGregor came in the ring, 25 pounds, came in the ring, 175 pounds, Floyd came in at 150. You outweigh the guy by 25 pounds. Why is it that now Floyd's the bigger guy? That's why he's walking down this smaller dude. He wouldn't knock this smaller dude to spark out. He knocked out Conor McGregor. He's much bigger than him. This little guy, of course he's going to knock him out. Of course his punches are going to hurt. He's so much bigger and stronger than this kid when it comes to boxing. Look at Floyd. Look at his physique. Look how he's built. So this is not rocket science. It's not staged. The thing with a lot of people is they bought into the myth that Floyd can't punch. Floyd has bad hands. He can punch. That's why those bigger guys, he kept them off of him. So what's for this little guy who's a featherweight? You got a featherweight fighting a guy who's used to fighting bigger, stronger guys. A featherweight? What's that featherweight going to do? Floyd knew he could take his punches. He's a featherweight, for crying out loud. What's he going to do him? So of course Floyd walks him down and knocks him out. This is not rocket science. And so I try to explain to these guys, are you straight up hating when you start to talk? So I don't want this video to be flagged, but I want to show you guys something. So here's Floyd facing the dude, okay? This is the stuff that I can't take about some of these people, right? Look how much bigger this guy is than this little guy. He's a little guy. He's strong, but he's a little guy. You can't have a featherweight facing a super welterweight. That's unfair. It's a mismatch. That was an exhibition match. Okay. And he got the referee that always referees this fight, Kenny Bayless. So here they're in the center of the ring fighting. Okay, I'm not gonna play the video because I get copyright stuff. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys because I always show you guys what happened. Okay, I'm gonna show you how he knocked this kid out. Okay, this is it right here. All right. I need to mute this. Okay, this is where he knocks the kid out. Okay, he was going to catch him with a left hook that the kid was trying to block, and it somehow got past his guard and knocked his face back, which is what made him look like that. And then he hits him with a right to the body as he's trying to get out the way, and it knocks him down. And Floyd hits you with a punch. You see him jab to the pit. He pushes bigger guys backward. What do you think will happen if he punches this little featherweight? Remember, this is a super welterweight versus a featherweight. What do you think happens if he punches this little featherweight with a punch to the stomach? He knocks the wind out of him, man. This is like a big bully versus a little kid, man. This is like a middleweight going and facing a light heavyweight. It's just not right. It's just not fair. This is a mismatch, okay? If you tell me it's a mismatch fight, you're absolutely right. But don't tell me it's fixed. Are you silly? In no way is this fight fixed. Okay, you could stretch the word fix and say it's a mismatch. Maybe that will work. But to tell me this little kid is trying to perform, he's trying to pretend like he's getting knocked out, are you crazy? Do you know how much bigger Floyd is against this little guy? Don't you guys know boxing? So that's the left hook. He partially blocks it. It still hits him in the back of the head. Now he's guarding for another up top shot. He was guarding for an up top shot, and Floyd hooks him with a shot to the body. Ooh. Okay. That's what happened there. And then here is the second knockdown. Oh, actually, Floyd hurt him here. I'll show you what happened. So he gets up stunned. It's so simple, man. Floyd's coming in on him. Now watch what happens here. Okay, this is check hooks Floyd there. Hits him with a shot to the body. Nothing's hurting Floyd because Floyd's so much bigger than him. This is just so wrong. Look at that right hook. Knocks his head sideways. Then he hits him with a left hook that knocks him all the way across the ring. It's not right, man. Okay, Floyd's a big bully there. He's out bullying the little guy. And the kid is scoring on him. He hit him with a left to the body. It doesn't mean nothing to Floyd. He's so much bigger. There's that body shot. And then he hits him to the head. There it is. Knocks his head back. That ain't no WWE, folks. Those are real punches, which you would not want to be on the receiving end of. So he misses with a punch, catches him with a jab. They're teeing off now. It's just so wrong. There's that left hook. That left hook knocks him to the side. And there's the left-right combination. You probably didn't see it. Let me show you again. It was so quick. I'm going to slow it down. That was the right. That was the right hand, short right, that hit him on the temple. Here's the left-right combination here. Okay, that was a slapping left hook that knocked his head to the side. So much bigger than the little guy. Those shots hurt. There's the left. There's the right on the temple. It's a little Japanese guy, man. That happens. Do you understand? Let me see. What was the fight? It was like something like that. Canelo versus Amir Khan. Canelo's so much bigger than American. He almost killed American. Um, Canelo versus Floyd, when Canelo hits Floyd on the hip and had Floyd in pain for days. Okay, when you're that much bigger than a fighter, you guys expect this little guy to behave like Floyd against Floyd. That's not going to happen. Usually, and Floyd's so much more skilled and that's what Floyd does. He boxes. So when Floyd punches this little dude, yes, it's going to hurt, dude. Dude don't got that kind of training like Floyd. He's spectacular and fun, but he's young. He's a kid. This is murder. Floyd killed this dude. And I don't think you guys get that. Like, some of you guys just don't. I don't know what you guys know, but you guys just don't know boxing, man. It's boxing. You got a bigger, more skilled opponent who's versed in boxing, not kickboxing now. Boxing. You come from your kickboxing background. You conquered other sports. You ain't going to conquer this dude. The dude is 20 pounds heavier than you, man. This is not Floyd have skills. He can handle 20 guys 20 pounds heavier than him. There are a handful of boxers in boxing history that could have done that. Not even Sugar Ray Robinson could have handled that. He got beat by Jake LaMotta, and then he got beat by when he went up to light heavyweight to face what's his name? He went up to light heavyweight and he faced I forgot what his name is, and dude knocked him out. Okay, so I'm just saying, it's not this. What Floyd does is very hard to do. Okay, Mikey Garcia is going to try and do something. Sugar Shane Mosley did it. You know, Mikey Garcia's trying to do that too. I don't know how much successful he'll be, but I'm just saying it's not easy to do that. You know, to move up in weight and just beat people like that. Right? And Floyd didn't only do it by knocking them out, but Floyd's a terror, man. Floyd can knock out easier, lower tier guys. Floyd would stop him, man. He can stop any lower tier guy. Easy. And that's what you guys don't understand. That's why when Sugar Ray Robinson's record is seen 100 and something, and he'd been hitting guys who were cab drivers and stuff, Floyd could do the same thing. And this is just a point here. If this guy just came off the street or whatever, of course Floyd knocks him out. Okay? Of course Floyd knocks him out. I've seen Roy Jones Jr. dust guys like that. Okay? Tenshin just happens to be in another category, and Floyd's doing crossover fights mostly. And he's looking for the most hype guy in whatever crossover fight to, you know, just beat up. But the point is, that this is a one-sided fight. Would you expect this fight to last longer? It probably should have ended sooner, if you ask me. Okay, and that's just what I mean. Come on, man. What did you guys expect? All right, man. I'm just saying, because I'm kind of surprised that guys like Beeb saying these things. You see, I thought these guys knew boxing. But either it's one or two things. Either he's doing that to troll people so he can get views, or he downright ignorant of boxing. I don't think Beeb is ignorant of boxing. I think he's trolling. That's what I think he's doing. I think Beeb is trolling. And I don't know why Beeb needs to troll. You trying to troll to get views? What are you trying to do? Poke fun at the other fans? That's stupid, man, Beeb. I expect you to be more mature than that, man. I'm just saying. Done Shutter. You're right on the money, bro. Instantly reminded of Canelo versus Khan. You're 2,000%. Done Shutter says, you heard how he made Nate piss blood? Yeah, man. Yeah. Because, see, Floyd hits hard. No doubt about it. He don't hit often. He don't often hit. And sometimes he does touch you instead of hitting you hard. But of late, Floyd has been hitting very, very hard. He's been teeing off on opponents and not really using a lot of feints and all of that. He just be walking opponents down, beating them up. And he knows he can walk these guys down. He know they ain't got no boxing background. So he's like, y'all ain't really boxers. I'm a dispatcher. You guys are supposed to dispatch those guys. And he just takes advantage of them and take them down and make some money, make some paper, you know. Shout out to Don Shadow 24. With respect to the other fights I was talking about, Donnie Nietes, the Charlos, what you guys got to say about that? Leave your comments, man. Leave your comments in the chat section. So, in terms of scripture, man, and you guys can still leave your comments. In terms of scripture, man, you know, I want to share a piece of scripture with you guys. You know, it comes from the Bible. Step away for a second. Donnie Nietes is once again, this time he's world champion again at another weight class, which is really awesome. Guy continues to impress. Filipino boxer. I think it's Matthew 28. I gotta get out of here, but first, no, it's not Matthew 28. Well, that's one of them that can do the job, but that's not it. Oh, Matthew 19. No. No, well, I'll stay with Matthew 19 for a second. Don Shadow 24 says the Charlo versus Harrison decision you were not a fan of. Okay, so you thought Charlo was robbed. Okay. Jesus says in Matthew 19:27, he says, truly I say to you, if you follow me in the regeneration when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, you shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that forsakes houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. What I really wanted to go to was purpose once again. And there's a scripture, I can't remember where it is in the Bible, that says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Where he was talking about houses and lands and all of that stuff with tribulations. And I think it's a charge. I want each and every one of you guys to understand what I mean. See, everything that's done, whether it's a request or whatever you ask of the Lord through his spirit, is really as a result to benefit the kingdom of God, to benefit the other believers, to increase the numbers of the kingdom of God, etc. You know, everything is geared towards that. You know, a lot of times when I try to come out on these places, I really like to share things of substance with you guys. You know what I mean? So for me, it's, you know, it's all about kingdom work. And so I believe that the kingdom of God is the important thing, that God's glory is known. And, you know, whatever is happening ultimately comes to that. That's what it turns, whether we like it or not, that is what it's shaping up to be when you look at the big picture. When I look at the situation I'm in and the situation a number of other people are in, it is for God's glory, one way or the other. You know, when you look at it, and what I mean by one way or the other, however you think it seems to be, or you think it should be, or you think it's going to be, one way or the other is going to be for God's glory. We know that it's going to pan out. And I personally, if I'm making a request, it's for God's glory. I try to make my request onto him. So that's what I got to say about that for now. If you guys want to share anything else, Don Shouter, if there's nothing else you want to say, I got to get hitting the road. But I just want to give my contribution on that. These different fights that came out before, and Mayweather versus Tenshin was an exhibition match. And now I heard a lot of people talking about how it was an exhibition fight, so it was staged because of that, or it was a fixed fight because of that. No, exhibition fights are called exhibition fights because they are not sanctioned fights by any sanctioning body. It's an exhibition fight for that reason. So people were talking about, you know, he didn't have to knock out the kid because it was an exhibition fight. No, actually, Joe Louis knocked out a boxer just very recently. In fact, let me get the fight so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So Joe Louis faced Pat Valentino in an exhibition match in December 7th of 1949, knocked him out. Okay? And exhibition fights just simply mean, okay, I'm going to fight this guy so you guys can see my showcased skills. That's all. All right, if I'm a guy that knocks out people or don't knock out people, and I dust some guy in an exhibition fight, that's what it is. It's not sanctioned. You know, there are no rules that, you know, unless you set certain rules, there's no sanctioning body. So that's all an exhibition fight is. And you go through history, there are a number of exhibition fights that were out there by boxers. Floyd's kind of reviving it a bit, getting people interested in that. All right, because he's doing crossover fights. He just fought a kickboxer. Before that, he fought an MMA fighter. So, you know, he's just doing crossover fights right now and showcasing his skills against different opposition who would be facing boxing. That's all it is. Made an argument, which, you know, I was listening to Beaven there, and they were trying to respond to me and stuff. And it's just funny trying to listen to these guys try to paint me as this Mayweather blind fan who just loves Floyd Mayweather. And, you know, I'm just blind when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. Maybe you're so with Sugar Ray Leonard B, but I'm not so with Floyd Mayweather, okay? But I want to show you guys a couple things, because I see a lot of you guys just don't understand. You just don't understand certain aspects of boxing. That's just what it is. So, through the ages, there have been a number of exhibition fights, and a number of people have done them, and nobody's ever been mad at them. Floyd's exhibition match that he had was actually televised, which was interesting. Of course, TMT and Mayweather Promotions seem to have a big say in how this fight was done. But I wanted to say that Beav and these guys miss out on the following points about exhibition fights and non-sanctioned fights in general. Okay, now we have stay busy fights, which may not have been sanctioned as championship matches, which other fighters have had. You know, like when you look at Julio Cesar Chavez, he's had a number of non-championship fights, stay busy fights in between championship fights, where the commission didn't sanction it as a championship defense match, but it's still being a fight. So the sanctioning bodies still sanction it. But an exhibition fight is a little bit different. And we've had exhibition fights throughout history, not as regularly now in present day, because usually guys don't have stay busy fights. They usually fight on different levels of competition, professionally speaking. Floyd Mayweather is doing something different. Floyd Mayweather is now doing what we call crossover fighting. That is, he's saying, you're the best at what you do in your area, but cross over and try your hand at my sport, which is called boxing. Can you conquer that? And Tenshin crossed over to MMA, and he conquered, you know, he had a win over an MMA fighter, even though he's a kickboxer. That's what he does. So Floyd invited Tenshin to come across to boxing and face him. Okay, he offered Conor McGregor to come across to boxing because Conor McGregor has some boxing experience and background. After Conor dominated MMA and called out Floyd Mayweather, said, I would beat Floyd Mayweather. He said, okay, come across to boxing and beat me. Okay, so that's what Floyd did. And this is not something that is unique. Muhammad Ali faced a wrestler in Japan, and it was an exhibition fight, but the Japanese wrestler went at it hard. Because even though it's an exhibition match, even it's called exhibition, it doesn't mean that your opponent's going to just lay down. Okay, it's kind of like, you know, sometimes there are sparring matches where a guy will say, I'm no sparring partner. So when they go in there, it's a real fight. The guy's going hard at you. Okay, but very similarly, this time for money, because it's an exhibition match, you go in front of people and you're fighting. Okay, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever. And showcasing your skills, and your opponent may take you seriously and decide to come at you really hard. And so that's why Tenshin said, I'm going for the KO with this dude. Because it's an exhibition match. It's not sanctioned by any governing body. It's not something affiliated with any governing body, you know. So there are no specific rules. It's no specific weight classes to it. It's an exhibition match. And this has been, like I said, Joe Gans. I mean, you go way back into boxing history, it's been like this. So when I listen to these guys ignorantly talk about, oh, this is a fixed fight, I'm like, why? Because he stopped him 3 times? Because he knocked him down 3 times and he got stopped? Come on. What do you really seriously? You thought Tenshin was going to kick this dude or something? What did you expect? And Muhammad Ali wasn't the first to do exhibition fights. We had, Roy Jones Jr. wanted to do an exhibition fight. We've had a ton of exhibition fights throughout history, and they usually end in KOs and pretty early because the competition's just not on the level of the other guy. It's expected. All right, so let me tell you, Joe Louis was in exhibition fights. I told you guys that already. And we had several other people. And the exhibition fights obviously don't go on your record like a legitimate fight where you're facing a guy in a weight class and that kind of stuff. So that's it, really. So Floyd dusting this little guy who's 20 pounds lighter than him. Let's start with that. Okay, he's much bigger than the kid. The kid's young. He's inexperienced. He's up and coming. He's a star, but he's a kickboxer. He's not a boxer. Okay, totally different story. And in boxing, you learn so much about just how to punch, leverage your shots, just your stance. Everything is just so detailed. A boxer, and this guy is the best boxer in the world for so long. What do you expect? What do you expect for an outcome? Why do you have to fix the fight for that? Because he's 42 years old? Oh. And why would Floyd train to face this kid? He was training. You know he was training, right? He was sparring guys and stuff. We all know this because Ellis Sackback and all these guys covered it. Okay. Now, I listened to one of these guys with Beeb on his channel, Ringside Reporter, I think is his name, talking about how Tenshin was training in Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s gym. No, he wasn't training in his gym. He was exhibiting his skills for the pre-fight fight conference. So usually, like guys like when Sean Porter was facing Kell Brook came across. He was in Mayweather's gym. So was Sean Porter, I think, or whatever gym, I can't remember. And they're just showcasing what they do. They do their little shadow boxing, little movements, their pad work, But it doesn't mean that he's training in the gym. Tenshin was up in Japan. He came across to Mayweather's gym to promote the fight in America so Americans could get somewhat interested in it. And Mayweather's promotional company, TMT, seemed to be carrying most of the promotion because that's a company in America. Okay, so Tenshin was there. He's not training in Floyd's gym. Why would he train in Floyd's gym? For what? So he's got his own gym. He was training up in Japan. And in recent times, you saw him come up into the Mayweather gym so that they could promote the fight. That's all. So it's interesting when people say these things. And so Ringside Reporter, again, seemed to have been misinformed on that. On top of that, Ringside Reporter and Beeb are so misinformed on this helps Tenshin's career. You don't get knocked the spark out and that helps your career, okay? Because everybody else who's in your competition is going to be saying, oh, he got knocked out. We can knock him out too. So it doesn't help your career. And the embarrassing way how you got dispatched off in the first round is just not good for your career, okay? And Tenshin was Rizin's biggest rising star. So you don't want to be doing that, okay? So, I mean, it's just crazy how, these guys, I don't know what's their story with Floyd Mayweather. I think they just go with the prevailing tide. They just got to say something negative about the dude. And it's a sort of hating that people turn off their brains and just hate blindly, which is so stupid to me. At least use your brain, use your common sense. Yeah, if you told me that everything was in favor of Floyd, then you'd be absolutely 100% correct. This is a one-sided fight. Yeah, sure. But him dispatching of the kid in the first round is not. Why would you want to stage that? Couldn't you see that was a real fight? I mean, that's a real fight. There ain't nothing else to it. Just because Floyd's 42 years of age, you was hoping that Tenshin would beat him up or something? I don't understand these people. So he dispatches the guy in the first round. It's a fixed fight. He dispatches Conor McGregor in the 9th round. Oh, well, Floyd Mayweather should have dispatched of him earlier. Which one is it? Okay. Oh, he carried Conor McGregor. Of course he carried Conor McGregor. We know this. He said so himself. He said, I carried that dude. I could have stopped him early. Then you guys would have said he wasn't worth it. This wasn't worth the fight. It was fixed. You know what I mean? He tricked me. You know what you was getting with Tenshin? What you guys thought that because the guy's little? Oh, I remember. Some of you haters was like, he's afraid of Tenshin. Tenshin's going to kick him or something. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. A featherweight versus a super welterweight ain't no competition. A superweight just to touch the dude. He just touch him. What I mean by touch him, hit him with a jab or something, and the kid going to fall down. Because he's a featherweight, man. This is boxing. This is common sense. So come on, B. Grow up, man. You guys be punking everybody. We know you punking. We know you trolling. Talking about hit him in the hair follicle. What kind of stupid talk is that, man? Hit him in the head follicle? Come on, man. You disappoint me, man. This is boxing. Okay? And at times, Beeb can be, I don't know, he's like a fanboy or something. He'd be unreasonable, you know. In fact, you guys couldn't even get the combinations right. You was talking about he got hit with a right hook and a left shot or something like that. Come on, man. It was a left hook and then a right to the body that knocked the kid down. You know, come on, man. Some of these guys, man, some of these guys, you know, and they so. You ever had armchair experts, people who don't really understand boxing and they talk and they're the loudest mouths, but they really do things also to try and collect fans so they can, not fans, but they try to collect views so they can get people to watch their channel. I feel like Beeb knows better. He knows what really happened in that fight and decided to try and tick off some fans or get a reaction so he could get more views. I think that was what was going on, man, because it don't make no sense to me. I try to think about, you know, the logic of it. And it just made no sense to me. So I decided to do this video based on that. But Floyd Mayweather always provoke a reaction from different people. So it is what it is. Nonetheless, I wanted to talk about Donnie Nietes' success. Some of y'all thought that Charlo was robbed. I have to go actually watch that fight and see if he was robbed or not. If it was a close fight or what. But from my opinion, the rounds I saw looked like the other guy, the Detroit guy, was jabbing him and hitting him with shots. I don't know. I may be wrong. I have to go and actually look at the fight to see. I know the Charlo brothers have some reputation to them, so who knows? Who knows? But I just don't think that either Charlo brothers ready for Canelo. I don't think that either Charlo brothers ready for Daniel Jacobs. I don't think they're ready for that. I think they have some work to do, both of them. And I think that there are levels to boxing, especially in weight classes. And, you know, a lot of people think they can do what Floyd did. It's very hard to do. To go up in weight classes and really challenge the very best and beat them is not as easy as it sounds because of many different factors. And so that's what I got to say for now. If you guys got any other questions for me or any other things you want to ask me or talk to me about, feel free to do so, man, at this time. All right, Gervonta Davis. Dunshatter says it was close. Dunshatter says it the version of Jamal. Okay. Well, Gervonta Davis anyway saying that he could take on both Tevin Farmer and Lomachenko. So that's good news. He says he beats both of them. He's supposed to think that, of course. But more importantly, I think that Dunshatter said that Fort Harrison, he would have been stopped by Canelo, Jacobs, or GGG. Oh, the Jamal that faced. I think Jamal didn't fight Harrison, though. He fought Karbov. Phone was acting up. I agree with Tank. I would say this. I would say that Gervonta Tank Davis we have an interesting fight with both Tevin Farmer and Lomachenko. I can't say, I wouldn't have the confidence to say that Tank beats Lomachenko, seeing he would have to move up in weight against Lomachenko. I mean, Tank is a big dude. He had to move up in weight against Lomachenko, and he hasn't fought in a while. So I don't know what would happen. As to against Tevin Farmer, I think he does Tevin Farmer. I think Tevin Farmer's overhyped, honestly speaking. So I can understand that. So Robert Garcia says that Abner Morris will shock Javante Davis like Maidana shocked Bronner. I don't think so. I'm gonna tell you two reasons. Broner was a smaller guy against Marcus McDonald, who hit like a tank. Abner Morris is gonna be the smaller guy, the little featherweight coming up to face the super featherweight. Abner Morris is gonna have a lot of experience on his side and skill. He's never been stopped. So it should be interesting seeing how he does against Javante Davis. But I don't know, man. That's a tough one for Abner. So I'm saying. So Mayweather was saying he was going to knock out Kasu Tenshin Nakusama. He said so. Unshatter 24 says he can stop. Who can stop? He can stop. Man, I'm drifting off to sleep. I didn't even realize I drifted off to sleep there. Sorry about that, folks. Oh yeah, so that happens to me on occasion. Mikey Garcia says he's experiencing pain of gain for Errol Spence's fight. So he's training really hard to be able to deal with Errol Spence. Be able to take whatever Errol Spence might drop on him. I don't think Errol Spence particularly hits super duper hard. He's not like a one punch knockout power, but he does break you down by hitting you in certain areas. So he's pretty targeted in what he does. So that's pretty much the overall boxing right there. Yeah. That's basically it, man. Boxing. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed some other videos I might come with you guys with in a short while. You guys have a good one.